It's match week 26 in Minnesota. The push to the playoffs is in full swing. Two clubs in much different scenarios square off today, each though with plenty to play for. Three vital points are on the line. It's Minnesota United FC2 hosting Austin FC2, the third meeting this season between the two clubs. Blaine, Minnesota is the setting north of downtown Minneapolis. Welcome into National Sports Center Stadium. I'm AJ Ricketts. Minnesota United is technically not out of the playoff conversation yet, though the Loons sit in last in the West, there is a pathway if they win the rest of the way and get some help. Austin much closer to securing a spot, but there's plenty of work to be done. This afternoon, Minnesota will be carrying nearly 10 players with first-team experience. The defending champs of MLS NEXT Pro will be tested today on the road. A look at the Western Conference table. A win today could be huge for Austin. That could possibly vault the Texas side over that 8th place playoff line. You see those four teams sandwiched there in the middle of the pack within a point. Minnesota, meanwhile, currently 11 points back of 8th. They need all 3 points today in the worst way possible. A shootout win, not as helpful. Shootout loss possibly ends any hope of making the postseason. A look at Minnesota's starting 11. Loons led by head man Jeremy Hall in his first season after Cameron Knowles was elevated. It's a 4-3-3 shape. Former New England standout Jordan Adebayo-Smith up front, who brings 11 MLS appearances with him. Loic Massanvi earned a first-team contract last month through 2025. He starts on the left wing today. Alex Smur makes his 6th start in goal between the posts for Minnesota. For Austin FC2, it's former Inter Miami assistant Brett Utley who leads the way. It's also a 4-3-3 look for the Verde in black. Diego Garcia, Micah Burden, and Diego Abarca up front. Burden and Abarca were goal scorers last week in the heartbreaking 3-2 loss to City 2. They gave up a goal in the 89th minute. Tough one to take as they continue their playoff push. Marcus Ulstrup makes his 8th start of the season in goal for Austin. As the defending champs have a tall test tonight on the road. It may be a team that has struggled this season. Plenty of MLS experience hopes to propel Minnesota forward here today as both teams have just 5 matches remaining in the regular season. A pleasure to have you with us in Blaine, Minnesota. Short drive north of downtown Minneapolis. 75 degrees today, 10-mile-per-hour winds, and the radar, the weather report, is telling us 0% chance of rain. So knock on wood that forecast continues. Sterny Bream is our referee here today, and we're just about set to get things going here in Minnesota. Good opportunity here for Austin to potentially jump up into the 7th spot in the Western Conference table. To be done, though. This will be a Minnesota side who comes in motivated. They were able to take the extra points in their last matchup. A thrilling contest against Real Monarchs. Really one that Minnesota would have liked to have gotten all 3 points. Monarchs had a red card early on in that match, and it looked like Minnesota would be able to secure the 3 points. They went up in that game, but a late equalizer by the Monarchs sent the game to a shootout where Minnesota wound up with just 2 points instead of the full 3 that they wanted and realistically needed at this juncture. They're going to need some help. Even if they win all of their final 5 matches of the season, it's no guarantee that they will make it into the postseason with the way things have played out this year. But still want to finish strong. Still want to see the developmental aspect of MLS NEXT Pro on display. A lot to play for, particularly for Austin as well. Certainly do not want to miss out on the playoffs after lifting the trophy last year, denying Columbus a 2nd consecutive MLS NEXT Pro title. There's still some of that championship DNA on this Austin roster, although a lot of those pieces did move on this year. We'll get much more into that over the course of the broadcast. Minnesota in the home black, Austin in the whites, from right to left. Shoshua starts us off, and we're underway here in Blaine. A pleasure to have you with us. AJ Ricketts alongside you. Minnesota and Austin scoring off for the third time this season. Minnesota won the first matchup, what feels like ages ago. That was in a shootout, though. Shootout victory, and then Austin, a 2-1 victory the last time these two teams played. That wasn't that long ago, right at the end of August. Early touch there a moment ago for Anthony Markinek. He scored in the 43rd minutes against Monarchs. Pushing forward here quickly. Open space on the near side. Minnesota, flag is up. Darius Randall, who signed Next Pro contracts not that long ago, August 20th, after rising through the Academy's U17 and U19 clubs. A little bit too open, and the flag justified why. Liberia native. A little bit of high pressure from Minnesota to start the proceedings as well. Pays off. Immediate turnover. Martinez, Aiden Martinez, the 17-year-old, was looking for any sort of free space. Play back DJ Taylor. Markanek, Bacharach, Brendan Fisher, and DJ Taylor, the back four for Minnesota today. And out wide here. Well, inside the 18, looking for some space to get a shot off. Not a lot of pace on that attempt, easily headed away. Looking for Martinez, the pass was intercepted, trickles back out to the back four. Austin will look to settle in their first sustained spell of possession here now. I mentioned that meeting towards the end of August against Minnesota, the 2-1 win at Palmer Field. That at the time extended Austin's win streak to 3 matches. Really matched, particularly in the early moments. CJ Fodre had the first goal for Austin in the 7th minute. He's Austin's leading scorer, by the way. Not in the lineup here today, even as a potential substitute. He's been getting more time with the first team. But Fodre had the opening goal in the 7th minute. Minnesota responded right away. 2 minutes later, it was Randall, assisted by Britton Fisher, make it a 1-1 match. And now Minnesota pushing forward once again. Shot ripped from distance, and it gets inside the post. Minnesota scores less than 4 minutes in. What a start. It looks like it was Samuel Shoshua, the 25-year-old, recently signed this past June, and a strike from distance puts Minnesota up 1-0. Austin looks surprised that he launched at that point, a little bit off guard. How about this start for the Loons? Just his second MLS Next Pro appearance of the season. First goal. Joshua came in from La Liga 2. Became eligible to join the team on July 18th. Rose up through the Tottenham youth system. Played with the Spurs U18, U19, U21 squads. This is an intriguing signing for Minnesota. And that looked good right there, didn't it? Sam Joshua puts Minnesota up 1-0 within 5 minutes. That's an example of what we talked about in the open, right? There's a number of players from this Minnesota starting 11 today with MLS experience to their name, but Joshua, he only has 1 game at the first team level. He's just another piece that's kind of an unknown for Austin. I'm known for Minnesota from a certain perspective as well. He's on a club contract through the end of this year with club options for 2025 and 2026. Strong start here today. Away in the midfield there. How will Austin respond? It's the exact opposite. How the match started in August when it was Austin with the early strike. Minnesota responded 2 minutes later. Austin would love a similar storyline here today. Looking for the through ball central, not there for Garcia. Good heavy touch there in goal. No problem though in the end for Alex Smurr, former North Carolina Chapel Hill keeper. Allstruck, meanwhile, spent his time at Cal Baptist from 2020 through 2023. 71 appearances for the Lancers. Two high-quality, unimpeded advancements in the attacking phase for Minnesota. One of them was nixed with the offside flag, but that one, no problem. Shasua took advantage. This is clipped into the box, dangerous area. DJ Taylor watches that skip out of play. Austin trying to get into a bit of an attacking mindset here. Good ideas played in. Garcia operating along the left side. Again, Garcia, Burden, and Abercroft, who's making his 5th start. Barca had a goal last week against City 2, an El Paso native. Long throw from Taylor to Adebayo Smith. Taylor, one of those first teamers in the lineup today. 27 MLS appearances this season. Does have an assist as well. Bacharach will play it back to Smurr. Launching it deep. Forward today for Austin of Bonachera, Mazzaferro, Nico Van Ryn, and Antonio Gomez at the right back spot. For Van Ryn, it's just his 6th start in 7 MLS Next Pro appearances. This is Bonachera here. Give it away in the midfield. It's Moses Nyman controlling things in the center. With Minnesota head man Jeremy Hall about the last match. He said, I felt like we lost 3 points. Not that we got 2, as this skips towards the 6. He said, I felt like it was a game where we were in control, especially from the beginning. We were able to create some chances, finally break through, and said probably got the hardest goal. Now we felt like we were in control. Just a disappointing way to concede a late goal, which sent it to a shootout. It was a really busy week. That was the 4th game in 2 weeks, so he thought the team responded well after a tough Texas trip. Wanted to see them finish. This is Plate Central. Minnesota searching for more. Aiden Martinez shot didn't get very far. Taylor, quick bursts, gets him some space. Randall down the near side. Taylor with it again. Crosses it, Central. And no problem in the end there as Baruhanga did well to gently tap it to his keeper. Good movement from the right back. Good ball from Randall as well. Actually got through that first level. Potentially problematic sequences dealt with by Baruhanga. He's making his 19th start in 21 appearances so far this season. Now on Austin there as Bacharach was shielding the ball. Minnesota controlling possession proceedings of this game and the advantage on the scoreline right now. They have dictated the tempo through 11+ minutes. Austin trying to figure some things out, grow into the rhythm of the match. Garcia committing a foul. Markinek playing it forward, read well by Van Ryn. Just kept in along the far sideline, though Minnesota will take possession right back. Bacharach, good ball to the far side. Loon's looking to create something here again from wide spaces. Headed away from danger momentarily. Soa was brought down and fouled. He'll quickly play right back into Masambi. Joshua already has a goal. Looking for a second. A little bit too much height on this as it trickles to the corner. Kept in play by Randall. Randall gets another one across. Dealt with. Poor throw. Done defensively there as Aiden Martinez was trying to create something again. That's Mazzaferro shielding the area. Third round pick out of USF. Around 60% possession right now for Minnesota. 3 shots to nothing advantage, 13-4 advantage in final third entries as well. Chera will look for a teammate. Just a poor touch there by Burden. Burden with 3 goals now in 20 starts this season. So that surpassed his 2023 total, where he had 2 goals. He was the youngest professional goal scorer in the Austin FC organization history when he scored against City 2 last year. They're excited about this young prospect up front. Working hard defensively, trying to get it out of the area here. Minnesota takes it right back. Now playing it into some space. It's Anthony Garcia, his 5th appearance of the year. He's only played 73 minutes at the MLS Next Pro level. Was signed back at the end of January on a 2-year guaranteed contract. So you look at the totality of the front 3 here today. Not all that much experience at the Next Pro level. Many of potential, particularly new pieces of Garcia and Abarca. Burden's been in the system for a while as an academy product. Tantalizing possibilities along this front 3 moving forward. Diagonal ball. Well, too strong. It's over the head of Bonachera. Austin were up 2-1 in their last match against City 2 in the 72nd minute. They conceded a penalty, which Makai Joyner connected on for St. Louis to make it 2-2. And then Brendan McSorley in the 89th minute put the go-ahead goal in. Austin was up 1-0 and 2-1, so a pair of leads given away on the Texas side last week. Along the line to Garcia. Dancing. Oh, he creates some space. Beautiful move. Nice recovery in the end from Fisher, though. Looks like he was beaten. Keep that from heading towards goal. Necessary intervention there. Garcia had made a nice move on him. Austin trying to put forward some creative ideas here now. Not too much to speak of today other than a nice cross. This is another one played in here. Burden was the intended recipient of that. Austin will have a corner. And this is starting to look more formidable on the visiting side. Uncontested cross. Brendan Fisher once again making a nice defensive effort. Ryan Arellano, the 18-year-old, will take the corner kick, making his 4th start, 19th appearance of the year, 1 goal, 1 assist. Arellano sends in a good cross. It's Fisher again. Putting together some nice defensive sequences here in the first 20 minutes. Minnesota gets it out of the area. Joshua has it. He's the goal scorer today. To spin on Garcia. Does so again. Now plays it near side. That was probably a bit of skill throughout. Now Randall inside the box. Searching for space. Randall going to play it across. Over the inline. Corner kick here from Minnesota. As Van Ryn put his foot in the path. Chassos. Now it's Nyman pushing it to the far side. Here's Jordan Adebayo-Smith. 11 MLS appearances this year. Awkward touch, bouncing around, still with Minnesota here. Markanek advancing forward. Markanek all the way, parried and fallen on top of. Boy, that was all over the place there for about 15 seconds. Not the most reassuring moments in goal from Ahlstrup, who kind of flailed at the punch away there. Markanek, he just kept going, wouldn't be denied, and he had a little more pace on that flick. Maybe that is strong enough to get through the fingertips of Ahlstrup. And a sigh of relief for the young keeper. Maybe facing pressure in moments once again. Randall, good ball through. Will the flag stay down? It won't. Kind of saw that developing, didn't you? Left side of your screen. That was a really nice run from Asanvi. He was there sprinting forward, and the recognition came just a split second after the fact. Excellent run, though, from Asanvi, making his 16th appearance. His 2 MLS appearances were at the very start of the season. Very meaningful for him to earn a first-team contract. Said it's a proud moment for myself. When I first came to the United States, I was inspired by the stadium, the fans, this organization. Said, I want to play there. I want to be a part of this group. So I want to make my family back in Togo proud. Certainly doing that. Now here's Austin. Randall is in the right spot. Again, the home side looking to push. Adebayo-Smith doesn't have a lot of help, but he will launch this just wide of the post. Adebayo-Smith was going for it. Didn't miss by much. Has 2 goals this year. That was nearly a third. There's 2 white jerseys right around him, 4 in the area, and still able to launch an unimpeded shot towards goal. It is not what Austin wants to see here. Let's talk with Jeremy Hall about Adebayo-Smith. Said I think his pace, his athleticism sets him apart for me. I really think he's one of the top players in this league, the way he runs without the ball into space. Did acknowledge, hey, I'm sure for him, if you ask him, it's probably been a tough year. I'm sure he wants more chances with the first team, but obviously those opportunities hard to come by. So for me, he said as a coach, just about keeping him confident, telling him we do care about him. He has all this potential, all this ability. He has to continue to show at every level, no matter what the situation or opposition is. Seen a good mentality early on from the former New England striker here today. How similar was that sequence right there to the first goal for Minnesota? The same exact kind of thing, but it was in transition. And now Minnesota advancing again. It's Adebayo-Smith. An extra tap. Austin able to extinguish that threat. Randall battling. DJ Taylor comes in and helps out. North Carolina FC man. Back to Randall. This is Martinez, the young 17-year-old. Tried to split a pair of defenders. Martinez has been active here in the first half hour. And a little too active there, draws the foul. Austin trying to settle in here. Just one shot taken through 25 minutes. It's an 8-2 advantage and touches in the opponent's box for Minnesota, 21-11 in final third entries. Taylor heads it out of play. I feel those are two, if not better, extra avenues in terms of really evaluating the pace, the tempo, who has the upper hand in a match. Flag is up here on the far side. Oftentimes possession stats don't tell the full story. Possession today just about equal. Despite all the struggles Minnesota have had this year, they know they can play with this Austin side. They've taken the extra point from them. And we're in a battle just a couple of weeks ago. Easy to lose confidence over the course of a campaign, which you find yourself towards the very bottom. Minnesota has a good spirit about them today. Took the extra point for the first time in 4 matches. The last time out against Real Monarchs, snapped that 4-game losing streak. Had lost 5 out of 6. Did score in 3 of those 4 losses, but gave up 4, 3, and 2 goals respectively. Randall down the near side here. Alonso Ramirez chips in to stop the sequence, but it will be a throw. Minnesota trying to find the form that they had throughout the month of May. That was the best passage of time this season for the Loons. They had 3 consecutive wins during one stretch against Ventura, Tacoma, and at Colorado Rapids too. Won those 3 matches by a combined score of 6-1. And after those 3 consecutive wins, 6 consecutive losses. Adebayo Smith looking to turn here. Adebayo Smith, it's blocked away. Another corner kick coming up here. How quick that turn was. Players like Adebayo Smith can be so dangerous in those one-on-one situations. Honestly, if Mazzaferro didn't chip in there to help, Adebayo Smith may have been able to have the angle and get the shot off. Another corner here from Minnesota. Sent back near where it came from. Shasua. Gonna make a run. Couldn't get it back from Taylor. Now Fisher. Central alignment. Couldn't execute. You talked about the changing pieces and how this has been a different kind of campaign for this Austin club. Still aspirations, of course, once again to reach the top of MLS Next Pro as they did last year, Cup champions with that 3-1 victory over Columbus Crew 2. There's a foul there on Adebayo Smith. There's plenty of returners to this roster, but you know the major part of course of MLS Next Pro is the development of players, the movement of them to the first team club or success that elicits other opportunities. Adebayo Smith with a hard challenge there. And so with all the positive things coming out of Austin 2 last year, that did generate some change. A lot of pieces of that title run are elsewhere. Cristo Vela, FC Cancun. Damian Loss, who was the Next Pro Goalkeeper of the Year, is on loan with Lou City in the USL. Valentin Noel, a notable departure, 8 goals, 4 assists last year, the MVP of that title game. He transferred to Las Vegas. So this season, Austin have seen players in different roles, testing out their academy products. Micah Burden, of course, one of those up front who's put himself in dangerous positions all season long. Jimmy Farkaloon has been a meaningful presence for Austin 2 this year. A bit more professional experience to his name, 22, 23 years of age. Very positive moments throughout the year. Austin with some numbers here, perhaps looking to send it across. Dealt with by Fisher. Still with it here. Mariano. He'll play it back. So to conclude that point, look, Austin made a name for themselves with all their production at this level last year. Bit of a slower start, of course, this season, understandably with the change. But they can get back in the playoffs. Don't know what this team can do with that championship DNA. Just outside the 18 here. Deflected away. Taylor playing it forward. Adebayo Smith turns. Minnesota maybe looking for something in transition here. Now played to the far side. Sanvi with an overlapping run as well. It is played to Markanek. Clips it in, and no problem that time for Alstrup in goal. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allina Health, an altogether better kind of healthcare. Learn more at allinahealth.org. So 5-1 advantage in shots taken at the moment for Minnesota. Contact there, blue line. Martinez went for the challenge after it was a bit of a heavy touch right here from Ramirez. And the little shove after the fact. No one going into the book though. Randall didn't get enough of that. Oh, that's a mistake here. A chance for Austin. Still pinballed around, and it finds the net. It's Anthony Garcia who levels it in the 34th minute. That's one Minnesota will want back. Randall, just an awkward touch. Garcia's right in front of the 6. The help can't clear it away from Bacharach, and Garcia clear-cut an opportunity, as he'll have. First goal of the year in just his 5th MLS Next Pro appearance for Garcia. And that is a tough one to take for Jeremy Lee and company. This has been a problem at times this year for Minnesota. Self-inflicted sequences like that. Randall's played really well today. He's been so active, so willing on the near side to make runs, find teammates, distribute. Just a brief mistake at the wrong time puts Anthony Garcia in a prime position. And it felt for a second that the opportunity may go awry. Bacharach got back, but somehow the deflection between Garcia and Bacharach wound up right at the foot of Garcia for the shot to be taken. Austin right back in it. And again given away. Well, Austin looking for a pair in quick succession here. Just the dancing on the far side. Now a turn. Oh, getting by the defender. How well done was that? Mariano showing the moves. Minnesota needs to be careful here. Austin playing with a spirit about him, but then the foul committed. That was pretty close to being disastrous there for Minnesota. Lyons was looking to get Austin back at a nice position there, but did commit the foul. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America, proud worldwide insurance partner of the International Olympic and Paralympic Committees. So Minnesota needs a bit of a reset here. It's probably the most tense couple minutes of the match it has been for the home side. On the whole, they are playing well. Need to get back to the kind of distribution and play we saw in the first 20 minutes, just like they have right here. Here's Randall looking to make up for it. Couldn't get the shot off. Took an extra touch. And then the foul. Martinez not in agreement there. And I think the extra words are what sent him into the book. First yellow card of the match. So Martinez, the first booking. Wow, felt like Randall was in excellent position to launch a shot, just trying to get a little closer, and the defense converged quickly. Burden dropping deep to help out his midfielders. Important final 8 or so minutes here the first half. It's Randall off the giveaway. Adebayo Smith outside the box. Crosses it in. Great touch to settle. The shot by Martinez is well too high. Wasn't wasting any time. Sent that on the volley. Couldn't quite square it up. Minnesota's been opportunistic in transition. They're in the possession around midfield. They aren't wasting any time. And there's been a sense of that, hasn't there? Just nothing to lose here from Minnesota late in the year. They can play free. Yes, they have to win to keep playoff hopes alive. Obviously, the odds of everything happening the way they need to for Minnesota to make the playoffs are quite slim. They're playing with a good spirit about them. Play hard, see what happens. Continue to build for next year. And maybe some funny things could happen down the final few matches of the season. Nice job there from Bacharach. Minnesota advancing again. Musanvi. Chasoa. Martinez taking off the ball. Now Burden trying to play through. Far too heavy, and Bacharach in control. Making that angle much more difficult that time for Randall. I wasn't sure if Randall was trying to play it to himself, take a touch, and continue his dribble on the sequence that led to a goal, or if he was looking to send it back to his keeper, Alex Smur. Instead, it went right to Austin. Foul on Minnesota there. 7-2 advantage still in shots taken for the Loons. 0.77 expected goals. Austin at 0.3 in that department. Good idea initially on that diagonal ball to Bonachera. Martinez has to be careful now playing on that yellow. He's been physical throughout the first half. Alstrup. Smith was trying to put some pressure on him. Barca was taken off the ball, but the run continued on the far side there from Gomez. He's got teammates on the near side, but Gomez launches it off the post. Stays in play here. Sit back across into the hands of Smurr. Antonio Gomez really put that one in at close range. Had Bonachera central, but he was just outside the 6. Gave it a go. Didn't miss by much. I should correct myself from earlier, by the way. Inevitable mistake there on my part. There's always one per game. It was Gomez who played at Cal Baptist, not Alstrup. Alstrup grew up in the Danish youth leagues. My apologies on that, but it was a 4-year run at Cal Baptist for Gomez. Here's Austin here. Nice move made. Looking for a shot and just getting on top of it is Smurr. Boy, Ariano has been so crafty throughout the course of the half. Nearly his second goal of the season. He's been in one-on-one situations with the defender. He's now slid his way by twice here in the first half. Randall playing it back. Taylor looking for him. Gomez searching for space, found a pocket. Martinez across, a little bit too high. 15th appearance of the season for Martinez. Scored his lone goal against Houston Dynamo. In which it felt Minnesota has had the upper hand, although Austin have had their pockets where they look quite formidable as well. But a Minnesota mistake costing them the equalizing goal. Joshua, good distribution there outside the box. It does get through. Adebayo Smith heading it. Randall was looking to time it up for a moment. Parried back to the 18. Back heel. Sent out of the area. Now Fisher. 45th minute here in Blaine. Taylor. Martinez continues to try to find those pockets. Back to Fisher. Fisher sends it in. It's headed to Martinez. Hesitation. Martinez taken away and cleared. This portion of the match brought to you by Bell Bank. Switch and see how banking should be. Just sort of trying to put the pressure on to the very final seconds of this half. It will be 2 minutes of stoppage time to finish the half. Garcia committing the foul after trying to take it down the field himself there. Joshua now operating on the near side. We've seen him on the left flank so often here in this half. Randall creating space. 2 defenders around him. Randall nearly got by a second. Just couldn't keep it on the boots as Mazzaferro, the second defender, came in to assist. So Bonachera credited with the assist for Austin earlier. That's his 6th of the year. Bacharach credited with the assist for Minnesota. 1-1 here with about a minute to go here in the first half. Nine-4 advantage in shots here in this first half. 18-10 advantage in touches in the opponent's box for Minnesota. Let's see if Austin gets one final chance here before they head to the locker rooms. You see a late change here in the half as well. Joshua operating in the front of that 4-3-3. That's been Randall. And that whistle will signify the end of the first half. Entertaining first 45+ minutes here in Blaine. Minnesota desperately needs 3 points. Austin sure could use them too. And through one half of play, it's Minnesota 1 and Austin 1. Here at National Sports Center Stadium. We'll have highlights and first half stats coming up. And after the break, Michelle Montaigne sits down to chat with Chattanooga FC head coach Rod Underwood. That and more coming up at the break.
Vamos, dale pues, mamá ya muerte. Más loco como solo tú sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza. Sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete. Listen up, all eyes on me. I'll show you who you wanna be. It's the new sign. It's the new sign. Toda mi gente lo siente. 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 Toda mi gente caliente. Toda mi gente lo siente.
We're back here to Blaine, Minnesota, where the Loons in Austin FC2 knotted up one apiece through 45 minutes of play here in MLS NEXT Pro action. Glad to have you with us today. I'm AJ Ricketts. Before we meet Chattanooga head coach Rod Underwood, I want to tell you about the upcoming MLS NEXT Pro newsletter. Sign up for it today.
Action. Welcome into another edition of Coach's Corner. Today we are sitting down with Rod Underwood, the head coach of Chattanooga FC. Coach, thanks for making the time for us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
With this being your first year in MLS NEXT Pro, over halfway through the season, what has just been your overall impression of the league so far?
I think there's been a lot of impressions. So if we break it down in multiple facets, off the field, I think facilities for the most part have been really very good. You know, how we're treated in the away games are really very good. At home, off the field is obviously fantastic for us. The crowd is unbelievable at home. The traveling crowd for us is fantastic. And then on the field, right, the competition's been really high. And we continue to get better and grow and learn and make sure we give ourselves the best chance to be competitive in every game.
You just touched on it, but being one of just two independent clubs, what has this supporters club meant to you guys your first year in MLS NEXT Pro?
Well, it means so much. Without them, it's very difficult for our club to even exist. So the supporters are fantastic. On the road, they give us great energy. At home, they give us great energy. And we just really feed off of it. And we really want to make sure that we repay them for all the support they've had beyond the years that I've even been here.
You've gone off to a pretty good start with that this season. What has allowed you guys to come in and find success early?
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, a focus and a desire really to perform at the highest level that we can. You know, one of the things that we talk about all the time is just being a little bit better, being 1% better every day and really working hard and really just focusing on us and trying to make sure that we do a really good job of accentuating each individual player's talents within the structure that we want to be successful in.
Now that we are getting into the latter stages of the regular season, knowing that the table is kind of making its way, what would you describe the mood and the day-to-day like between the players in the locker room?
Yeah, for us, it's two things, right? It's excitement, the opportunity to be playing, right? At the end of the day, a lot of us could be doing a lot of different things than showing up every day to train and coach and enjoy the city and enjoy the fans. That's a great honor to even be able to do that. So there's joy, there's excitement, but there's also business like that. Hey, you know, the table's tight. We know that every game matters. We know that every point matters. So we're, you know, keeping that joy and excitement and focus and workman's-like mentality.
So with all that in mind, what does success look like for you this season?
Success is many things, right? Success is how do we do on the field? How do we do off the field? How do we do with our players coming in and being successful? And how do we do with the support of the fans and making the city grow and really just bringing new fans, bringing new supporters, and really going as far as we can in the league.
All right, last one for you. Coach, what has made you the most proud of this team so far this year?
I think there's two things. I think number one, the fans, the support, the city, the ability that we can come out every day, express ourselves, and express the way that we want to play football. But also, I would say, just the relentlessness of the individual players to come out and really perform every day in training and really look to be better in every game.
Awesome. Well, I can say from that very first game in Chattanooga to now, you guys have been so much fun to watch. Your supporters have meant so much to the league. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we'll be seeing you soon again in person.
All right, thank you for having me.
Toda mi gente lo siente, toda mi gente lo siente, toda mi gente lo siente, y toda mi gente lo siente, toda mi gente caliente, toda mi gente lo siente. Toda mi gente suena, en la fadera suena, el techo se me llena. sacúdete. Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete. Más loco, como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon las manos en la cabeza y sacúdete. Sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
Action.
Halftime in Minnesota, the home side scored first here, struck first, but Austin responded in kind. 1-1 our score through 45 minutes between Minnesota and Austin FC. Glad to have you with us. AJ Ricketts alongside you here as we take a look at the upcoming schedule. Match week 27 of MLS Next Pro gets all started on Wednesday with a triple header, starting with New York and Toronto. Action continues Friday with 3 games as well, concluding with Timbers 2 and LAFC2 on Saturday at 5 Eastern. Roy Lassiter and Carolina Core at home on 80 for that Carolina derby against Crown Legacy FC. Those two have had some nice matchups, some fun matchups over the course of the year, including their first game of the season. It'll be fun to see what's in store Saturday nights. As we take another break, highlights and stats coming up here on MLS Next Pro.
Sacúdete, vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete. Más loco, como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon las manos en la cabeza y sacúdete. Sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
Listen up, all eyes on me. I'll show you who you wanna be. Hey. Yeah, yeah, hey. Oh, wow, wow, wow. It's going down, down. You don't want to miss that. It's the new sound. It's the new sound. It's the new sound.
Toda mi gente lo siente, toda mi gente lo siente, toda mi gente lo siente, y toda mi gente lo siente, toda mi gente caliente, toda mi gente lo siente. Toda mi gente suena, en la favela suena, el techo se me llena, toda mi gente lo siente.
Action.
Final moments before we get the second half started at National Sports Center Stadium here in Blaine. Minnesota and Austin rounded up at a goal apiece in what was an entertaining first 45 minutes. Let's take a look at the first half highlights from this Western Conference affair. Glad to have you with us on MLSNextPro.com. AJ Ricketts here with you. Minnesota struck first. Didn't waste all that much time. Had an unobstructed shot, and Samuel Shasua put it in. It's just his second MLS Next Pro game of the season, but he sneaks it inside that left post and put the Loons up early. Minnesota wasn't done threatening offensively. Anabayo Smith started this hectic sequence here, about 10 or so seconds back and forth. Austin having trouble clearing it out of the area. In the end, it was nearly a goal on the run from Marcanic that started outside of the box. Here's the throw in from Taylor to Adebayo Smith, and if Mazzaferro isn't there to help, maybe that's a goal from Adebayo Smith. But here's the goal from Austin. Miscue defensively there from Minnesota. Even the help defense coming in late doesn't clear it out of the area, and Anthony Garcia scores his first goal. At the next pro level this year, that put it at 1 apiece, and that's where we're at here through 45 minutes. One final chance for Austin in that first half. It was Antonio Gomez ripping one that just caromed off the right post. Then the ensuing cross was easily handled by Alex Smurr. Taking a look at the first half shots stats. Minnesota doubling the total shots of Austin there in the first half. 0.97 expected goals, 0.56 for Austin. +8 in final third entries for Minnesota, +10 in touches in the opponent's box as well. Just one yellow card in the first half. That went to Aiden Martinez in the final couple of minutes. So we are all set for second half action. Minnesota and Austin. And here's the Western Conference scenario here for the home side. If Minnesota loses today, they're out. No chance at a playoff spot. That's it. If they lose in a shootout, Houston winning would take Minnesota out of the picture, or Portland win as well, or the Sporting KC, Colorado, and Portland shootout win. It gets kind of confusing as you go through the third and fourth scenarios, but what is easy to understand, if you win today, you still have an opportunity. If you lose, officially eliminated from the playoffs. North Texas and St. Louis have already clinched their playoff spots in the West. Feels like LAFC, they played one extra game as well, so it'll be tough to leapfrog either of those teams before the end of the regular season. They're 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th in the West, separated by just 1 point. So plenty to play here for Austin, in particular in the midst of this playoff hunt. I think we're getting a couple substitutes as well. Jimmy Farkerloon and Steve Lewis-Jean are going to enter for the visiting side. Only 2 subs here of the half, after the half, I should say. Alonzo Ramirez and Anthony Garcia exit for Austin. Garcia, the goal scorer in the first half. Parkland's been a huge part of Austin's success this year. 3 goals, 6 assists, and has started 20 matches. It's actually the first match this year he has come off the bench. Lewis-Jean, meanwhile, 10 starts and 17 appearances, 1 assist on the year, no goals. Here's a shot ripped from distance. Oh, it's off the crossbar and in. Or did it get across the line? That's the question. What a rip from Masanvi. And a goal is awarded, and it's deserved. That is incredible. Loic Masanvi from the suburbs, 4th goal of the year. Watch this again. Finds space towards the middle of the pitch, and from about 30 yards out, goes right over Alstrup. That's sensational stuff. One of the goals of the week in MLS Next Pro. That is fantastic. You see exactly why, in a moment like that, he's been given a first-team contract. Just 2 MLS appearances this year, and it came at the start of the season. But if he keeps putting together sequences like that, there will be more to come. How about that? And then here's a mistake perhaps, but no, Alstrup's going to get to it in time before Randall can. Wow, new life, new energy here from Minnesota. And again, just too much space given. The center of the pitch. Nobody's stepping up. So a second lead here in the early moments of the second half after Minnesota started the game going up 1-0. Long journey for Masanvi to get to this point since he started playing back in Togo. Now first team contract, and feels like so much potential ahead for this young player. So Austin have been knocked back yet again. Who may they go to for answers here moving forward? Do have a bit more of proven attacking presence now up front. Farkaloon's operating on the far side, along with Louis Jean. Flag up here. It's actually Louis Jean that's up front along the wing, or was in that moment at the very least. Mentioned Brett Utley, head man for Austin, former Inter Miami assistant. Joined Austin December 2022. Started his coaching career in college ranks at PIAC in 2014. And joined Seattle Sounders at the academy level in 2016. Also USL experience to his name. And competed professionally in Sweden as well. Jeremy Hall getting the opportunity for Minnesota. First year. The foul committed there. Tampa native, MLS veteran, played with New York Red Bulls, Portland FC Dallas, and New England. Yellow is going to be issued here to Austin. Hugo Van Rijn, I think, was upset that that whistle blew. And now Minnesota is going to have an opportunity from the spot here. Watch again. Yeah, contact there. Just enough. On real time. I was kind of surprised that was called initially. But bodied him to the turf. And Adebayo Smith's going to have an opportunity to put Minnesota up 3-1. That is a huge sequence. Just a bit too physical from Van Rijn in the end. Now Adebayo Smith searching for his 3rd goal of the year. Feels like a must-have for Austin in this moment. Minnesota may have a pair of goals in a matter of 5 minutes. Tough spot here for Marcus Alstra. Just his 8th start of the year. Trying to deny Adebayo Smith, who steps up, slots it home. 3-1 to Minnesota, who have come out flying here in the second half. Calmly sent in by Adebayo Smith. No problems there. 3rd goal in his 14th start of the year with Minnesota. That'll feel good. 3-1 here in the 53rd minute. It's falling apart here to start the second half here for Austin. Had some concerning moments in the first half, but seemed to grow into the game. But this is not what Brett Utley wants to see here. Less than 10 minutes into the second half, Minnesota have snagged a pair of goals. And Ryan getting the yellow after the last sequence. There's Louis Jean. 2 defenders draped on him. Goes to Burton at the top of the 18. This is whipped into the area. No problem for Smyr. 62nd overall pick in the 2022 draft was Smyr by FC Dallas. Former Carolina Tar Heel. Adebayo Smith in a one-on-one situation. Just led Musanvi a little bit too much towards the sideline. Nifty footwork there. And then a foul. And that's going to be a yellow to Abarca. No need for it in that moment. Had given it away. There is a flow to Minnesota right now. They're playing a good brand of soccer. Joshua to take the free kick. Around the edge of the area. Getting away from goal. Chipped back in diagonally. Couldn't bring it down. Portion of the match brought to you by Alina Health, and altogether better kind of health care. Learn more at alinahealth.org. How does this change things for Austin the rest of the way here in the second half? How much more aggressive will Brett Utley's side be? We see more of a high press the rest of the way. Willingness to get on the counter. Be interesting to see the style of soccer in the final half hour plus. Again, Minnesota still technically in the playoff hunt. It needs all sort of help and will have to essentially be perfect the rest of the way. It's Austin who are right there. Gomez. It's a good ball to the near side. Barahunga dispossessed. Great late challenge from Bacharak, tracking back. 9th overall pick in this past year's Super Draft. Ariano to take the corner. Low-driven ball across the mouth of goal. Chera put his hands on his head. He knew he was close to it. Couldn't extend his leg to get a shot on target. The ball sent in. Markanek, no problem. Van Rijn. Now Gomez. Crosses it towards the 6. Farkerloon. Another ball sent in. Now Minnesota have dealt with that. Adebayo Smith sprinting. Put some pressure on Alstrup, who has good composure there. Austin advancing again. Barahunga. His pass just a little too strong for Farkerloon. Van Rijn using his arms there. Whistled for the foul. And it's going to be a yellow to Abarca. And he'll be sent off. Now his teammate saying, hey, the ball was kicked to him. He was walking away from the area. Austin is furious here. And this would really make any comeback difficult. I feel he's got a case. There's the foul. Barca standing in front. Now he's walking away, and yeah, that's tough. He was walking back. I mean, how many times, dozens of times a game, you'll see players from both sides initially stand in the path of where the free kick will be in the initial few seconds, and then start walking back. It's commonplace. Now, if they're still standing there, and the opponent is ready to continue play, tries to, and the path of the ball is blocked, that is usually worthy of a yellow. But after a brief second or two here, Abarca's, he's walking backwards. He has his hands up as well to say, I'm all good, and give him some space here for the free kick. And then it's purposely kicked right at him. That's a bit of gamesmanship that goes in Minnesota's favor. And with Abarca already on a yellow, he is sent off. And that's the last thing Austin needs as they try to fight their way back here in this one. Foul here on Nyman. I suppose you risk that happening every now and then if you stand on the ball at all. Just a misinterpretation from the official that you were delaying the resumption of the match. And even his body language, in addition to his movement, indicating he wasn't trying to stay in front of that. Didn't extend his legs to block it. Just sent straight to him. a tough one. Austin down 2 and a man down. This is not looking good for Brett Utley's side here in the final half hour. This portion of the match brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. You and Blue, better together. So now you wonder if Minnesota can kind of just do this for a little bit more what time is left. Just play possession, work it around. Really challenge Austin to come after them if they want. Let me open up some lanes and pockets. But in no hurry, up a pair of goals. Well done defensively there by Lewis Jean. Earned the throw in. Minnesota last year finished 8th in the standings, 10-10-8, but just missed out on a playoff spot because of the tiebreaker. Really deflating finish to a season that had many bright spots over the course of 2023. Foul on Bacharach there. For the game, Minnesota now out shooting Austin 11-5. 1.8 expected goals. Austin at 0.59 is the foul going against Randall there. Mentioned all the first team players getting reps here today. That is because of the FIFA international window. Flag is up here on the diagonal ball. Minnesota's next match, it's going to be on the road at St. Louis on September 14th. They sit 9th in the Western Conference table at the moment. Austin 2 spots behind them in 11th, 2 points behind as well. Austin FC in action at Toronto this Saturday, 7:30 p.m. kick on Apple TV. Austin's just had trouble scoring at spurts over the course of the season. Sanvi needing a moment after that challenge from Van Ryn. Austin saying he's off the pitch. Play didn't need to be stopped there. Was played in before Adebayo Smith could even get back up. Sanvi was looking to get involved around the top of the 18. Look at who Austin have the rest of the way. 4 more matches after this. 3 of them will be at Palmer Field. Starting with Texas Derby, Houston Dynamo coming to town on Friday. Short week. Vancouver and San Jose, the other 2 home matches, and a road clash as well with North Texas. So 2 of the final 4 matches in their home state. Excuse me. All 4 of them, I should say. The 3 of them being at home. Town FC sitting in 6th in the standings. Oh, that challenge right there. Burden having a conversation with the official. Watch again here. Burden in the center of your screen. Like he was losing his balance a bit. Then he took a cleat to the back. Nyman lost his balance after Burden went down, but the foul is on Minnesota. Feels like opportunities are going to be few and far between the rest of the way in the course of play for Austin. Just kind of set pieces, maybe chances they need to try and take advantage of. Parker Loon lofting it in. Marcanic skies it. Makes a 15-foot bounce. Settled by Shasua. And he's fouled by Burden. Trying to go a little too quickly there was Minnesota. Just sent it out of play. Farkaloon towards the end line. Lost it. Well done defensively. Like that was Taylor. And Austin was really committing numbers forward there. Adebayo Smith at the 18, going left. We'll play it back. Shasua to Martinez. Nyman now to Taylor. Looked to play it wide, didn't quite get all of that. Minnesota with it again after the takeaway. Adebayo Smith trying to get to the right foot. Looking to play it to Shasua. Minnesota have yet to go to the bench here through 70-plus minutes. Austin readying their 3rd sub. Burden is shoved to the ground. Quickly triggered back in. Barkley with 4 black jerseys around him settles for a moment and looks to switch. Here's Gomez, who nearly scored in the first half. He's trying to find Farkaloo. Well too heavy. And Gomez played it off the post on a close range shot. There was a period of time here Austin was threatening to put themselves in front with a second goal in the span of 5 minutes. They were controlling this match all of a sudden after it was Minnesota on the front foot for the first half an hour. And Austin had a surge, and Minnesota tread water for those few minutes, got through it, and then came out the first 6-7 minutes of the second half with a purpose. So Christopher Garcia will enter. Brian Arellano's day is complete for Austin. Garcia, the third sub here for Austin. Garcia comes in on a season-long loan from El Paso from the USL. 21-year-old making his 5th Next Pro appearance of the season. Arellano really had a nice couple moments today. There's Garcia fresh off the bench looking to create. Actually, too much defensive help. Not a bad start, though, off the bench. That one went right to him. Watch out now. Garcia trying to make it 3-2. It's denied. Right back, and that's blocked on Farkalun's attempt. Miscue defensively by Minnesota. Garcia all by himself. First touch was towards goal. Well done by Britton Fisher to be composed as well and keep the hands down. That was interesting. Now Masanvi. Loons would love to put this on ice here. This is clipped back post. Randall will chase it down. With Austin on the red, it does somewhat already feel as if this one may be heading to Minnesota. Wouldn't be so foolish enough to assume anything in this league, though, however. Austin had the set piece. Garcia had the run towards goal right after he was inserted, and then he got the ball back. Had the shot on goal that was blocked. A big save from Smur. And then Fisher getting in front of the follow-up from Farkalun, who's been a goal scorer for Austin this year. I wonder if those are the last gasps for this Austin side on the road here today, or if they can try to make things interesting once again. Taylor and Shasua back and forth a bit. Here's Adebayo Smith, who scored on the penalty. Shasua was the first goal scorer. Back to Randall. Good ball through. Adebayo Smith couldn't get all of that. Allstrip falls on top. Creativity here along the far side. I'm not sure if an Austin defender might have got a small piece of that to deal with the pace of Adebayo Smith's one-footed shot. This will be the first substitution for Minnesota here today. Shasua will head to the bench after scoring the first goal for the Loons here this afternoon. Will Schmidt, his replacement. Schmidt, the 17-year-old, making his 11th appearance of the year, 1 goal on the season. Up next for Minnesota, 2-game road swing. It starts with a trip to St. Louis. Here's Burden. Parker Loon, central, couldn't find Garcia. Won't be an easy trip. St. Louis second in the West, already clinched their playoff spot. They're sitting at 46 points at the moment. SKC2 in 8th, middle of the pack here in the Western Conference standings. Game by game, though. This is a good start in the pursuit of finishing this regular season strong for Minnesota. Garcia fouled on the turn. Parker Loon. Curling ball. And a corner kick here for Austin. He'll jog over to take it. 80th minute, 3-1 Minnesota. Another set piece, no problem. Alex Smurfs had a nice day. And it really feels like that last save he made, probably his biggest moment of the match. He hit Austin the second goal, and including a goal which they would have scored a man down. Who knows what kind of furious finish we might have had in store here. The Texas side recharged at bringing it within a goal, but remaining 2 down, a man down, and now just less than 10 or so minutes to play. It does feel a lot more in control for this Minnesota side. Give Smurr a lot of credit. Former Carolina Tar Heel. Here's Adebayo Smith. Love a brace. Masanvi. Nyman challenged. Off the shoulder of Martinez. Burden trying to get out of all this. Nyman and Burden get all tangled up. Everybody up quickly. Nothing more to it. Nyman and Burden playing hard. There will be a yellow, though, on Nyman. Former DC United Academy player. He's the second youngest homegrown player in club history. So Masanvi and Randall's day are concluded. And Randall will be happy to see his team up 2 goals as he departs after a brief defensive miscue. But other than that, a really nice game from Darius Randall. Griffin Price, as well as John Ferris entering for Minnesota here in the final moments. 4th Next Pro appearance of the season for Price. 10th for Ferris, the 16-year-old. So a good opportunity as well for these academy players to get some experience alongside first teamers playing down. Price towards the left side of your screen. The intensity in which Garcia is playing with here, even late, down 2. So frustration, he thought he might have had a breakaway. Taylor. He's been stout at that right back spot today. Taylor taking a shot towards goal. Why not? Corner kick here for the Loons. It's the right back just weaving his way through the Austin defense. Ambitious effort. Nothing to it, though, from Marcanic. But if a right back dribbling through your defense isn't a sign of where this game, what stage this game is at. An impressive effort from DJ Taylor. So after that 2-game road swing, Minnesota will be back here. Final home game of the regular season against Rapids 2, where they defeated earlier this year, and at North Texas to finish up the regular season at Choctaw Stadium. This will be the first win for Minnesota if they hold on since July 26th. It will feel good to be back in the win column. Pair of shootout wins, including in the most recent game against Real Monarchs. All of a sudden, Minnesota putting together 5 points in their last 2 matches after their 4-game losing skid. For Austin, it's going to be consecutive losses after winning 3 in a row, which put them in a much better spot in the West. Foul is committed by Bairahanga. This portion of the match brought to you by Target. Target is here for the love of the Loons. It's the second multi-goal game for Minnesota since July 18th, last time they played Austin. Both those games come in the last 2 matches here. Adebayo Smith pulled up for a moment. Now it does look to be okay. But Farkerloon trying to create something here. 88th minute. Farkerloon goes down. That'll be a penalty. Austin's going to go to the spot here. A chance to cut this to a 1-goal match. Farkerloon's walking to the spot. Minnesota got a penalty. Austin has one back here. Nyman, who got the yellow a few moments ago. Too physical here. Interesting developments here in the final few minutes here in Blank. Harkaloon to take the penalty. And he puts that one through to make it 3-2. Fourth goal of the season. And Austin has pulled within one here. It's Minnesota 3, Austin 2. Game on. The final few minutes, down a man, down a goal, but it's going to be a lot more interesting down the stretch here. Sheikh Toure coming in for Burden, fourth Austin substitution. Does Austin have one final gasp? Austin almost scored about 10 minutes ago as well in the run of play. Smur had to make a fantastic save, one-on-one. Christopher Garcia was 10 yards out. There's Martinez with space along the flank. Off of Louis Jean, now to play. There's going to be 6 minutes of stoppage time. Martinez is fouled. Moments like that's what Austin's going to try to do. Quickly ambush these midfielders, try to get out in transition. Remember that sequence that sent Abarca off the pitch for his second yellow. Just very unfortunate to say the least. Was backing up with his hands up. The ball was kicked to him in his direction. He's about 5 yards off the ball. But the official understood that as him trying to deny the restart. He's sent off. It's been obviously a big part of the last 20 minutes or so. Ferris was fouled. I give some credit to Brett Utley's side. It has not been the perfect day. Showing some fight down the stretch here. Even when it looked like the excellent opportunity went awry, and that would be it. Arkaloo hustling, got knocked over. Be careful here. Smur gets it away. Price will take his time on the throw-in. Back to walk away. Now Taylor take it. Every second precious right now for Austin. I mean, how stunning would this be if they could pull this off, force a shootout after falling behind, conceding a pair of goals within 5 minutes here in the second half. Ferris was trying to take advantage of that poor pass. Now Austin looking for Garcia. There he is. Farkaloon in front of him. Garcia finds him. Has it back. Garcia looking for any sort of space. Lost his balance. Went to the turf. And back to the other side of the pitch. Less than 3 minutes or so left in this one. Lewis Jean plays it far side. Farkaloon making a run. Taylor his defender. Farkaloon near the end line. He's inside the 18. Goes central here. Sent away. Nico Van Rijn nearly got a foot to it. Those are the moments that Austin want, though. Lewis Jean trying to win it back. Seeing the desperation enter the picture here for Austin. This is a meaningful game for the Verde and Black. Well, that'll cost them some more seconds here. Headed over the top, Adebayo Smith. Couldn't corral it. On the other way, Schmidt was in the area too. Parohanga sending it deep. Just Sheikh Toure up front. He came in for Burton a few minutes ago. Smurra line drive clearance. No whistles. Van Rijn helped win it back. Crowd displeased. Austin committing everybody forward. Garcia just dispossessed there. Well done by Bacharach. Ferris making a run on the near side. Playing it across. It got through. Now Price will run it down. Maybe take some time in the corner. Bacharach towards the flag. Austin need to win it back quickly here. Don't have any chance. Just about 20 or so seconds left. That's out for a goal kick. Alstrup has to hurry. Austin have gotten a goal back, down a man. They need another. Sitting right on the playoff line with 4 games remaining after this. Alstrup sends it deep. Headed the opposite way. Final whistle blows. That's full time. Minnesota have kept their playoff hopes alive. They hold on here after Austin went a man down. A second half blitz to start the proceedings in the second half helped earn Minnesota the full 3 points. And that has been quite some time since they've done that. It will feel good for Jeremy Hall and company today. In the win column for the first time since a 1-0 win July 26th against Colorado. They're able to get the win at home here today. Your Adidas man of the match, Loic Massanvi, with a fabulous strike here from well outside the box. That in from St. Paul. An absolute missile off the crossbar for his 4th goal of the year. And Minnesota have taken the full 3 points. They'll be in good spirits. Austin FC showed some fight down the stretch. Ultimately, too large a hole to climb out of. The final score today here, Minnesota United 3, Austin FC 2. A big thanks to our entire production team led by Roger Jones, Jordan Rohrbach, and Daniel Yachman. I'm AJ Ricketts saying good day from Minnesota.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.